arrangements underground only serves to put prospective parents and the children they hope to raise in legal jeopardy. House Bills 5207 to 5215 lift this ban and, more importantly, create a clear legal link between parents and the children born through assisted reproduction. Whether using surrogacy or IVF, ensuring that a legal parent-child relationship exists will give children a more sense of belonging and upbringing and eliminate any possible confusion around parentage and prevent bad actors from making undue claims. These bills update Michigan law to ensure that children born through assisted reproduction, like IVF, have a way to establish legal parentage. And I want to make something crystal clear. Reproductive freedom includes those who want to get pregnant but can't. It includes those who turn to fertility health care to start or grow a family. As we have seen in Alabama and many states across this country, reproductive and fertility freedoms are under attack. And I'm so grateful for my partners in the legislature who have worked with me in this incredible bill package to get it across the finish line. Whew, this is where it's going to get a little tough. I am so incredibly thankful for my partner, Stephanie Jones, whose advocacy kept our legislative flame burning bright, for the dozens of people who gave testimony, bravely bearing their story before the world, like my dear friend Tammy Myers. I am grateful to Polly Kosher and Courtney Jocelyn, who worked at all hours of the night drafting these bills with our drafting attorneys to make sure the language was watertight. I am grateful to my fellow bill sponsors, Representative Morse, Breen, Hoskins, Pahusky, Conlin, Morgan, Cerniglu, and O'Neill. And I'm so incredibly thankful for my House leadership and Senator Stephanie Chang for safely shepherding this package through committee. And it's with great honor that I get to thank Senator Leader Brinks and Governor Whitmer, who have been dedicated to making sure that Michigan continues to be a leader in reproductive and fertility freedoms. To families like mine and to people like me, thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm really thrilled to be here with you today, celebrating this historic moment together. My name is Leah Zintek, and I have a unique perspective on the impacts of the Michigan Family Protection Act. I was a gestational carrier for my dear friends, Alan, who's behind me, Big Brother Crosby, Alex, and carried Barrett. And so I really do have this unique experience such that I want to share. I gave birth to Barrett slightly over 9 months ago. So what an incredible way to celebrate 9 months in and 9 months out with the signing today of the Michigan Family Protection Act. And I remember that day vividly. It was June 29th, 2023. I remember my effusive joy watching Alex and Alan hold their son Barrett for the very first time. I also remember that for the entirety of his time in the hospital, Barrett's hospital bracelet said Baby Zintek, my last name, and not Baby Kamer, which is his actual last name, and highlights one of the reasons this act is so crucial. So as I prepared for today and considered the unique message I could share, I thought about my friendship with Alex, who has a complex congenital heart defect, and that makes pregnancy unsafe for her. I thought of her family and what it meant watching her and Alan walk this path of surrogacy together, first with their son Crosby, and then with their sibling journey with me to bring Barrett into the world. I realized that what I have to say today is really a love letter to every parent who has formed, expanded, or is creating their family through surrogacy, to the person who wanted nothing more than to be a parent but was never able to resolve their infertility, to any parent yearning for children that they need assistance to bring into the world. All of you, many of you behind me, have advocated tirelessly to make the MFPA a reality. The MFPA took years of work, grit, determination, and perseverance. You created the Michigan Fertility Alliance, thank you Stephanie Jones, during that time frame. You participated in advocacy days and letter writing campaigns, celebration of hope walks, You advocated and you rallied around reproductive freedom in the state and nationally. You did this for years, on top of your 40-hour work weeks, on top of parenting children, running households, leading businesses, navigating a global pandemic. And in spite of this, and you did this in spite of the agonizing setbacks, such as the overturning of Roe. In the midst of this crushing disappointment and fear, you helped our leaders pass Prop 3. Thank you, Governor Whitmer and Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist. You came together with your state representatives to create a package of bills which would become the Michigan Family Protection Act. Thank you to bill's sponsor and champion, Representative Steckloff. And to all of the other bill sponsors, I should add. And during this time, you welcomed children through surrogacy. While you have thus far not personally benefited from this legislation being signed today, you envisioned a future where families wouldn't agonize over decisions such as whether it's safe to pursue surrogacy in the state of Michigan, or if the state will recognize you as your child's parent. You envisioned a future where parents won't be forced to adopt their children because of an elected official deciding to deny parental rights, like our dear friends, the Myers family and the Lang family. You hoped for a better future, and then you made it a reality with action. As a gestational carrier, I often hear kind words about my actions to carry for Alex and Alan, and it makes me uncomfortable because I didn't do it for those reasons. I did it out of love for them and the knowledge that there are no two better parents and people in the world. So I hope you will hear me now when I say you are all heroes. I see all of you who brought us here today. Your children, many of you behind me, will proudly know that your actions ensured that all children born through assisted reproduction and surrogacy are treated equally under the law. That all LGBTQ parents in the state of Michigan are treated equally and their parental rights are protected. You, the advocates, have made it possible to celebrate that after years of wanting your children, manifesting them into being, that no future child born of surrogacy will have the wrong last name on their hospital bracelet, or be denied that vital legal connection to their parents. From one person who loves a family formed through surrogacy, I share my thanks to you all and the thanks of all Michiganders for this amazing, citizen-led grassroots effort. Congratulations. And now I will turn it over to Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brinks.
Thank you, and good morning. I am so proud to be here with all of you today for the signing of this important legislation that has taken years in the making. Years of hard work and dedication to help Michiganders have the freedom to fulfill their dreams of becoming parents and growing their families through surrogacy. I am particularly proud to be here today as a senator from the 29th District over in Grand Rapids, and my constituents Tammy and Jordan Myers, who garnered national attention as they were forced to jump through legal hoops to gain full parental rights of their own children, all because of Michigan's outdated surrogacy laws. In 2015, Tammy was diagnosed with breast cancer. The extent of her treatment meant that she would be unable to carry more children. This could have put an end to their dream of growing their family, but thanks to advancements in medical technology and their wonderful surrogate, Tammy and Jordan's twins, Ames and Ellison, who are here today, were born in 2021. This should have been a very happy ending to their story. But instead of spending time soaking in their new bundles of joy, the Myers were instead forced to spend their time, money, and energy fighting a long and arduous legal battle to adopt their own babies. And from one parent to another, I cannot imagine the utter agony of proving to the courts that you are worthy of the parental rights that should have already been yours. The emotional, financial, and familial toll that this can take on a parent, especially the parent of two newborns who are in the NICU, is something that doesn't just leave you. So when Tammy and Jordan were finally deemed the legal parents of their twins, their calls for change did not stop. The Myers ensured that their experience would serve as a catalyst for change for the benefit of others. And because of their relentless efforts, along with so many other families who have benefited from surrogacy, we are here today celebrating those long-awaited changes as they are signed into law. I want to extend my utmost gratitude to the Myers and to other families who have endured and shared similar experiences, for contributing to the contributing lawmakers and for their hardworking staff, and to everyone who helped get this across the finish line. There is no good reason that parents like Tammy and Jordan should ever have to adopt their own children. And with the governor's signature on this legislation today, we are finally putting an end to devastating stories like theirs here in our state. And we are showing the rest of the nation that Michigan is a place where anyone can pursue parenthood without unnecessary hurdles. Thank you, and with that, I would like to introduce to you Stephanie Jones from the Fertility Alliance.
Thank you. And I just want to recognize today is April 1st, and April is Infertility Awareness Month for those who aren't aware. So this is just quite serendipitous, obviously, that we're here today. I've wished for this moment many times in my dreams. It's a new day for families and children in Michigan. My fire to change the outdated 1908 surrogacy law unknowingly started in 2016 while I battled for my life in a hospital ICU bed. Prior to that, I was one of the fortunate who knew nothing about the crippling, life-changing struggles of infertility. At that point, I was already a mother to my son, David, who carries a piece of my soul. On December 28, 2016, I experienced a rare ectopic pregnancy that left me fighting for my life. In 2018, while attempting to get pregnant again, I experienced the same rare complication. My doctor, my angel, who saved my life, told me that this was the end of my ability to carry a pregnancy and that we should look into surrogacy. From a hospital recovery room, a Google search brought what little hope I had crashing down. I lived in the only state in the U.S. with a criminal ban on surrogacy. It sent me to a dark place. From this dark place, a lonely corner of my soul, a beautiful thing happened. The Michigan Fertility Alliance was born, and so was our daughter, Leona, by an angel in a surrogacy-friendly state. In that state that provided all the legal protections needed for her, our surrogate, and our family, protections that Michigan lacked. After living through uncertainty of surrogacy in Michigan and hearing the stories of others, I could no longer sit back and watch while families suffered. From these painful experiences, the Michigan Fertility Alliance and the MFPA was built. I stand before you today representing an organization that stood up for those who needed help building a family, or our why is our children, your friends' children, your nieces, your nephews, and the stranger you might pass on the street. Infertility and the need for assisted reproduction to build a family do not discriminate, and they are far more common than you realize. Being unable to grow a family, regardless of the reason, is like being a bird without wings. It cripples you, it consumes your every thought and intention. Instead of creating barriers and additional suffering, our laws should reflect the reality of Michiganders. They should protect our children and support all family building, regardless of circumstances. I am eternally proud to say that the legislation Governor Whitmer will sign today, the Michigan Family Protection Act, also known as the MFPA, does just this. It provides critical legal protections for children and a clear pathway to secure parental rights for parents who rely on fertility treatments and surrogacy to build their family. Now, no matter how their families are formed, all Michiganders will have access, or all Michigan children, will have access to critical rights such as health insurance, Social Security, and decision-making about critical medical care that flow through the secure legal parent relationship. The legal parent-child relationship. Legal safeguards will also now protect all involved in surrogacy, the parents, the children, and the surrogate. Today is a monumental day because Michigan is the first state to update its parentage laws since the shocking IVF ruling in Alabama escalated concerns about protecting access to family building around the country. As reproductive freedoms and LGBTQ equality are both at risk around the country, the Michigan Family Protection Act is a strong example for other states to follow. This family-focused law, years in the making, came together thanks to the grit, tenacity, and unwavering commitment to our grassroots group of citizens that make up the Michigan Fertility Alliance, working closely with family, parenting, reproductive equity, and LGBTQ advocates and experts. Our work has been done between the moments in our lives being professionals, parents, classroom volunteers, daughters, sons, husbands, and wives. This wouldn't have been possible with the partnership of Polly Crozier from GLAAD and Janan Brunel, a journalist. The MFA leadership and advocates, all the families like the Myers and the Langs, for lending their stories, and the many people behind the scenes. Thank you. And lastly, thank you to my husband and my children and my parents who are here also with us, for your grace and support as they've shown me along this journey. To Senator Brinks and Senator Chang and all the bill sponsors, everyone at MFA deeply appreciates your belief in the MFPA and all you've done to pave the path to success. To Rep. Steckloff, what we created is special, like lightning in a bottle. It all started at a serendipitous advocacy call back in 2021. Sam shepherded this legislation through many ups and downs, overcoming challenges from well-funded opposition backed by layers of staff, lawyers, and talking heads. We did this with the belief in each other, forged through the shared determination and trust. This bill language unfolded at kitchen tables before dinners and late nights with my daughter sleeping on my lap. From soccer sidelines and ballet waiting rooms, this is where the MFPA was crafted, not from pearly boardrooms or offices. We were and are the little engine that could. This is the secret to our success. In all reality, we wouldn't be here today without Michigan's first Democratic legislature in 40 years and the leadership of Governor Whitmer, who continuously fights against attacks on our reproductive freedoms, which include access to fertility health care like IVF and surrogacy. I mean this when I say our governor is a powerhouse and we are lucky to have her. Keep this in mind every time you exercise your right to vote, and truly consider what's at stake. To all our supporters, advocates, and heroes, we did it. We had no roadmap and no idea where this journey would take us, but we never wavered. When one door closed, we found another and we kicked it down. Proof that we took our sorrow and we turned it into our superpower. And for that, and all this bill will provide to others, allowing them to build their own families, I'm forever grateful. Thank you. And now I get an honor I never thought I would ever say. I get the honor of introducing Governor Whitmer to you all. Thank you.
There are many, many wet eyes I'm looking at right now. If I wasn't about to speak, I would be too. So I'm so happy to be here with you all today. And I am humbled by your resilience and your bravery and your fortitude. And I'm so glad to be able to make this happen today. And because it's so heavy and emotional and celebratory, I won't make my April Fool's Day joke, so we'll just go right into it. Today I'm going to sign the Michigan Family Protection Act. It is a package of common sense, long overdue changes to remove criminal prohibitions on surrogacy. It's to protect families born by IVF and to ensure LGBTQ plus parents are treated equally. A lot of people worked hard to make this day possible. Representative Steckloff, one of the sponsors of the Family Protection Act. She has laid her soul bare to make this a better place for other people. My partners in the legislature who are working to make Michigan a better place to start a family, many of whom are here today, I thank you for your work. I want to specifically identify some of the sponsors of the bills in the Family Protection Act. Representatives Christine Morse, Kelly Breen, Jason Hoskins, Jennifer Conlin, Jason Morgan, Penelope Cernoglu, Lori Pahutsky, and Amos O'Neill. Thank you. The Michigan Family Protection Act supports parents and guarantees every child is treated equally and protected under the law. Until now, Michigan was the only state in the nation, 1 out of 50, that criminalized paid surrogacy contracts. Our outdated law prescribed up to a year of jail time and a $10,000 fine for using a surrogate. Today's bills repeal that ban and better protect surrogates, children, and parents. They will ensure that you have the freedom to start your family without political interference. This legislation will make a real difference for Michiganders. One story that sticks out, Tammy Myers from Grand Rapids fought a long legal battle to adopt her biological twin children who were born via surrogacy in 2021. She testified how she had a hard time establishing custody because her children were both born premature and through a surrogate. Although she did eventually get custody, the trauma stays with her. I mean, can you imagine not being able to have your name on your child's birth certificate, not being able to put them on your health insurance? Can you imagine holding your child and being told that child's not legally yours? It's wrong. And today, for her and so many others, we're going to be making it right. And I thank you for totally Of all the years that I've been doing this work, there's nothing more powerful than a parent who's gone through something really difficult and uses that as a crusade to make other people's lives better. So we owe our gratitude to so many. It's worth talking about how we got here and why we're acting proactively to protect surrogacy, IVF, and reproductive health care. I was shocked that so many legislators in Michigan voted against these bills. It's all about giving women access to another way to have a child, or a same-sex couple access to a way to have a child, while ensuring that every child has equal protection under the law. This is the most pro-family thing this legislature's been able to get done, and they've gotten a lot of good stuff done this year. But we're not stopping there. We're also taking proactive steps to protect IVF and ensure Proposal 3, enacted by an overwhelming majority of Michiganders, stays intact. As we saw with the Roe precedent fall, nothing is settled. We know that a change in power at the national level could lead to an abortion ban, outlaw IVF, criminalize birth control, and more. Other states are giving away the game. Extreme politicians are putting themselves in your doctor's office between private discussions that should be left to you and your family. And in the years since the overturn of Roe, they've gotten bolder. In Texas, lawmakers banned abortions and 0 exceptions for rape or incest. Earlier this month, Arizona blocked a proposal to protect birth control. Last month in Alabama, the Supreme Court placed IVF in jeopardy. And just last week, the United States Supreme Court heard arguments in a case to ban mifepristone, a common abortion and miscarriage drug. Some said we'd never be in a place where IVF, surrogacy, and contraception would be threatened, let alone abortion. But that's exactly where we are right now in this country. Meanwhile, in Michigan, we're making it easier to start a family and to raise a family. We keep feeding every public school student free breakfast and lunch, saving parents $150 a year feeding their students. We also lower the cost of childcare by expanding supply and hiring more qualified professionals for childcare. We're building more housing, we're fixing roads and bridges, and we're putting money back in people's pockets. We will get things done on issues that make a real difference in people's lives. Because in Michigan, we've got your back. Michiganders voted overwhelmingly to adopt Proposal 3 in 2022, enshrining the right of reproductive freedom in our state's constitution. We've also protected the right to prenatal care, childbirth and postpartum care, contraception, sterilization, abortion, miscarriage management, infertility treatment like IVF. This is how you see a state that supports the people, that supports families. Recently, Right to Life Michigan filed a lawsuit to repeal Prop 3, endangering reproductive freedom, prenatal care, and IVF. Not on my watch. I took swift action, filing a motion to dismiss their lawsuit. With our new majority in Lansing, we have repealed our 1931 abortion ban and enacted the Reproductive Health Act, expanding reproductive health care. And we're here today signing the Family Protection Act. We know decisions about if, when, and how to have a child should be left to you and your doctor and your family. No one else. So we will stay vigilant to protect the hard-fought progress that we have made. Those who want to strip away our rights and our freedoms will not rest, and neither will we. I'm thrilled to be here to sign these bills into law, and I want to thank the 2 Republican legislators that voted for these. Out of 148 people. All right, what time did you say? All the families, we found my colleague Julia right here, all the way around, and elected officials stand up on Rosie and Dennis for photos. All right, come on up, Jason.
I'm gonna have the governor here, just drop after the photo.
Oh, I can't leave. That's right.
All right. Let's see. The Husky, you're short, except in those holes. I was going to say, not so
I got a great shot.
sorry.
That way you
Can you get in between us?
Hey.
Yep. Very good.
So give us enough space.
But we also have we could get rid of that health care, for someone that
Yeah, exactly.
Seems odd. What frequency are you on? 569.875. Yeah, okay. So you get, I'll hold on to it because you're getting some weirdness.
some for people on your
Appreciate it, man. It means a lot.
Check. I'm using both channels of audio because I'm away from my wire. So my wireless is having some interference on channel 1. Since it's blended, and
Oh, okay.
What'd you do this?
buddy? Oh, you're kind of loud. She got me in there.
All right, what's up?
Governor, this has been in the law for a long time. Michigan was the first state to do it. What changed over that period of time? Science, attitudes, both?
I can't speak for why this became a part of Michigan law in the first place, but to be the last state to recognize that surrogacy is an honorable, important, scientific way for people to grow families is kind of, a shame that it took Michigan this long, but I'm thrilled that with our new Democratic majority in Lansing, we're able to get it done.
Governor, what are your initial on the fact that people could face jail time and fines if they went through a surrogate? Did it initially for you? Did it for you hearing that?
Yeah, I mean, it was shocking. We'd like to think of Michigan as a pretty progressive place. We're a place where we knew we had our reproductive rights intact until the fall of Roe v. Wade. We were much more avant-garde than other states, and yet this remained on the books. And so it's good to finally clear this arcane, cruel law off the books.
Governor, Donald Trump is coming tomorrow to Grand Rapids. He says he's going to be talking about a, quote, border bloodbath. Is that something that's taking place in Michigan?
Not with the Canadians, not that I'm aware of. Maybe with Ohio.
So no?
Listen, we know that we've got a real problem on our southern border as a nation. We know that it is really critical that Congress and the President solve the problem. There was a solution on the table. It was actually the former president that encouraged Republicans to walk away from getting it done. So I don't have a lot of tolerance for political points when it continues to endanger our economy and, to some extent, our people, as we saw play out in Grand Rapids recently.
Governor, you alluded to it. With what's going on federally, can you address again the fragile nature of this, despite what was signed into law today? When you're out of office, I mean, is this going to be years to come, something that will have to be defended in the near future, not longer?
Well, I got to tell you, it's really jarring that we saw what happened in Alabama, the IVF ruling. We saw Republicans across the country say they love IVF and they support it because they didn't want to be affiliated with that ruling. And then yet when this bill to decriminalize surrogacy comes up, only 2 Republicans voted for it. Support families or you don't. And it's pretty clear that there is a divided line here where Democrats are making it easier for people to decide when and whether to start a family and how they pursue starting a family. The Republicans say no to all of that. And it's incredibly cruel and anti-family. It's surprising. But I'm grateful that there are 2 Republicans out of the whole legislature that were willing to vote for these bills.
My question, though, for the governor and then the other. You mentioned Republican support here in our state. What was the biggest hurdle, given that this previous law was on the books for 26 years? What was the biggest hurdle getting to take?
Well, I mean, that whole time Republican majorities in the legislature. We've had a Democratic majority for 15 months, and we've already made Michigan a more welcoming place, a place where you make your own decisions about your body, where you have full civil rights protections under the law, and where you have the ability to pursue starting a family through IVF or surrogacy. This is what happens when Democrats have had 15 months to set the agenda in Michigan, and I'm really proud, and I think have benefited no matter where you live, no matter who you are, where you come from, who you love. We're making sure that in Michigan, every person can have dignity and find a path to prosperity.